Dear viewers, welcome to the new series of To The Point. Today's topic of discussion is solar storm. First of all, let's see why is it in the news. Recently, the paper presented at the ACM SIGCOMM 2021 conference noted that a powerful solar storm can cause a disruption of the internet, damage submarine cables and communication satellites. Previous studies have shown that there is a 1.6 to 12% chance of an extreme space weather event happening within the next decade. Now let's discuss about solar storm. A solar storm or a coronal mass ejection, as astronomers call it, is an ejection of highly magnetized particles from the sun. These particles can travel several million kilometers per hour and can take about 13 hours to 5 days to reach Earth. Earth's atmosphere protects humans from these particles. But the particles can interact with our Earth's magnetic field, induce strong electric currents on the surface and affect man-made structures. Now moving on to the history of solar storm. The first recorded solar storm occurred in 1859 and it reached Earth in about 17 hours. It affected the telegraph network and many operators experienced electric shocks. A solar storm that occurred in 1921 impacted New York telegraph and railroad systems, and another small-scale storm collapsed the power grid in Quebec, Canada in 1989. A 2013 report noted that if a solar storm similar to the 1859 one hit the US today, about 20 to 40 million people could be without power for 1 to 2 years, and the total economic cost will be $0.6 to $2.6 trillion. Now let's have a look at the concerns. The rapid development of technology took place in the last 3 decades when the sun was in its period of low activity, and there are very limited studies on whether our current infrastructure can withstand a powerful solar storm. The sun goes through an 11-year cycles of high and low activity. It also has a longer 100-year cycle. During the last 3 decades, when the internet infrastructure was booming, it was a low period. Now it is believed that either in this cycle or the next cycle, we are going towards the peaks of the 100-year cycle. So it is highly likely that we might see one powerful solar storm during our lifetime. Now let's understand its impact on India. Longer submarine cables may be susceptible to higher risks. Modeling studies to understand how connectivity will be affected, country scale showed that the majority of cables connected India will be unaffected. Compared to the US, India is less vulnerable, but don't know much about the strength of solar storms and whether a powerful one can affect India. The countries in the lower latitudes are at a much lower risk, but it needs more studies to fully understand the effects. Now moving on to the way forward. Recently, it was assessed that internet disruption for a day in the US can cause about $7 billion economic loss. The new studies mentions a shutdown strategy that can help minimize the connectivity loss during and after a solar storm impact. Similar to how we power off power grids, a temporary internet shutdown can protect our equipment during a solar event and ensure the continuation of services. Both NASA and the European Space Agency have probes now that can detect a solar storm, so we can get about 13 hours of warning. So that's all for today. Stay tuned for the next episode. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.